This is my brand new iKon VLE21. I've had two LX21s. This year I chose to go with the VLE21. I'm going to show you all the ins and outs of it, my electronics install, a couple little custom deals that I did to it. I got a new battery set up this year. Let's get into it. I'll even show you how fast it goes because everybody's going to ask anyway. So this is the iKon VLE21 2025. Got about 10 hours on it. All right, the VLE21 is part of the Victory series. It's 21 feet 0 inches, where an LX21 would be 21 feet 10 inches. Still has that 98-inch beam, tandem axle trailer there, and 33-gallon live well capacity as opposed to 35 that you'd get in the Legend series or an LX. And you see I got Talon brackets there to mount my Raptors. I got twin Raptors with the Bob's jack plate. I chose Midnight Flake. You'll see here on the boat builder, I got Midnight Flake boat with a jet black hull and cockpit and the HCB white bolt. You can build your boat out on iKonboats.com boat builder. This is pretty close because it's pretty close to the NAP pricing there. I have a couple other options, including that 16-inch Apex. This one's priced out with two relatively close graphs. You can order through any of our iKon dealers to get more custom stuff done to it. Got 14-inch wheels, where on my other two boats I got the 18-inch wheels, and gator back bunks instead of carpeted bunks. These are better for the environment. They don't hold water. They don't hold a bunch of debris that you transport back and forth to other lakes. Gray seats there with black stitching. Can't see that black stitching, but it stands out great in person. And then we get up here to where all the work's done. I got the Minn Kota Ultrex Quest 45-inch shaft with a Mega 360 and the new Mega Live 2. I did so with that 45-inch shaft. You don't have much down in the water, and I like to move my Mega Live 2 all the way down, so I did something a little bit different here, a little custom. I got the Mega Live Target Lock adapter that's for the Mega Live Target Lock. It's basically a spacer that pushes it out a little bit further, and I can still put it there in landscape mode. And I have it pushed all the way down as far as you can on that shaft. You can see there how I'm able to use that, which also allows me to move my Mega 360 down. Precision sonar graph glass makes it easier to clean, but also protects those screens. And then the Boat Logic's custom dual graph mount that you can get straight from the factory. Stomp buttons there. And here is what my Explorers look like on that clean power wire yacht harness that's standard on all the iKon boats. It's not a custom deal, it's not an option. That is our in-house wiring harness. You can see some bluegill beds over there with the landscape mode from the Harris chain. Here's my storage, got all my CPF lures in there with the sliding tackle drawer. Upper work lights, which are a must. Early morning night rigging that broadcast down. The inside of the compartments are all lit, but that just, you don't have to reach down and look for light. I got more than enough boxes in there, carrying just as much tackle basically as I did in my LX. Get over here to the port side rod locker. Can't go anywhere without those Evolve rod sleeves. Protects all those rods. I got about 20 in there. I don't know. You can put more. Extra deep gutter system. Our lids won't freeze shut. They drain quicker. Makes your carpet dry out quicker. That's real important. And stainless steel compression latches keeps those things shut. Keeps them watertight. Just going to show you every part of my boat over here. Keep on my life vest, throw cushion, that kind of stuff. Measuring board for those online tournaments that are so popular now, like the Ultimate Angler one that I entered that I haven't had any time to fish. An extra deep gutter system, aluminum lids. I got a fully padded front deck. Not just the fishing part up by the trolling motor, but the lids are padded, so the whole entire front deck is padded. There, it's what it looks like when it's all lit up. Bright cockpit, the deck lighting, tool holder there, pull out fish bump board, my scissors. Everything drains. You're not gonna hold water anywhere on here. That insulated cooler with a rubber dubber latch system, it's perfect, keeps ice all day. See what I had for breakfast. Glove compartment there. Got my Bubba scale in there. Some captain's license. I still have a Coast Guard captain's license. I keep that in there. My registration and all that kind of stuff. There you get a little bit better look at the seats. You can't really see the black stitching in the camera. I waited too late to film this right when the sun was super high and 100 degrees. No carpet in the cockpit. That's not even an option with iKon. We'll get here. There's your wireless cell phone charger. That'll charge right through an OtterBox. USB connectors there. Jack plate gauge. Doing a full walkthrough of this boat. There's my Apex 16. I do have graph glass for that. I just haven't had time to stick it on there. I need to get it on there before I scratch that. Precision sonar graph glass is a must. Here's our part of our L2 live well system, 33 gallon. It's one big tank with a divider, an easy to remove divider. I do have the fish IV system in here, which I'll show you a little bit more of that later. Insulated lids. They fill all the way to the top. There's a lot of videos on the live well system, so I won't go much into that on iKon's website. Storage compartment back here. Got an anchor there in case I get in some deep water and need to anchor up for any reason. My fire extinguisher's in there. Some more CPF lures over here. You can never have too much CPF lures. That is a shameless plug. Then we'll get back here. This is something new that I got going on this year. Stealth batteries. Let's talk about it. Stealth Batteries is a new company, all lithium. They make 12 volt, 16 volt, 24 volt, 36 volt, waterproof chargers, and the whole shot weighted battery tray that weighs about 20 pounds, and you can fill it full of lead shot to get it right at the weight to make up for that you need to make up for the loss from lithium batteries as opposed to AGMs. I'm running two 12 volt house batteries that are 135 amp hours apiece. And then over here on the trolling motor side, those are in parallel, of course. I have two 36 volt, 60 amp hour, I believe they are. There's my fish IV system. They'll inject G-juice. We have a custom bracket. There's my pumps for my poles there. You can see my batteries. Two 36 volts. Did I need two 36 volts? Probably not, but I have them. Because most of the time when I come in, I'm still up in the upper 90s of percentage, even when I'm on that trolling motor real hard all day long. Our machine room or our battery compartment is super clean, easily accessible to all your wiring, your pumps, easy to get at. But go check out Stealth Batteries. There's that charger. The cables come out of the top, which is awesome. You're gonna run those cables up underneath your deck anyway. So that charger will charge a 12 volt, then the other bank will charge 12 or 16, and then the third bank will charge 36 volt. There you can see my whole shot battery trays. I did not put any shot in here. I didn't need that weight in the VLE21, but I do have, the trays themselves weigh 20 pounds a piece, but that's where you can add shot. And then it seals tight. Add up to, I think, over almost 30 pounds of shot. They're not as orange as you look. Again, I did this when the sun was super bright. See how clean that is? There's our custom breaker system there. When you're running all these electronics, I like to run mine on 10 out of 10. Your forward-facing sonar takes juice. The Mega 360 takes juice. I need that. I have 270 total amp hours. Yes, I am using the battery as for my cranking battery and my electronics. Yeah, so you can see there, those are the 36 volt strikers, which are 60 amp hours a piece. So I essentially have 120 amp hours of trolling motor battery. Way more than enough. A lot of people, if they do two 36s, they'll put a switch on and have them as backup. All right, so here's what everybody wants to see. It's the speed test. There's a lot that goes into how fast your boat is. Elevation, rigging, What do you have up front? What do you have in the back? Is your motor performing properly? Water temperature, air temperature, how big of a person you are, and the driver. On this day, I was on the Harris chain, and the wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour. It doesn't look like that too bad. You don't see a lot of white caps, but it was pretty choppy, and I was having to run across the wind, which isn't fun. But you'll see here, I weigh about 175 pounds. I'm by myself. I had a little over probably 60% fuel capacity. You saw what I have in my boat, all the tackling rods and everything. And on this day, when it was about 90 degrees out, I was able to get this boat up a little over 72 miles per hour. I have run it over 73. Again, temperature and everything, but that's how fast my boat goes. Doesn't mean it's as fast as your boat will go, and yours might even be faster. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.